So, moving on to our second deck of the evening, we are playing my good friend Paul's Painted Rug. I refer to it as such. We're playing Rug, red, blue, and green. We're playing Legacy, and we're playing Painter's Servant and Grindstone as our kill conditions here. So, Painter's Servant is a 2-mana 1/3 artifact creature scarecrow. When it comes into play, or as it enters the battlefield, choose a color, and all cards that aren't on the battlefield, spells, permanents, are the chosen color in addition to their other colors. So it's similar to Mycosynth Lattice for artifacts. This is for a color. So why are we doing that? Well, we've got the card Grindstone, which costs 1 mana. It says 3 mana, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. If both cards share a color, repeat this process. So if their entire deck is, say, blue, you get to mill their entire deck. So this is one of many 2-card combos that exist in Legacy, as the 2-card Monty deck plays just a whack of those, and this is one of them. So the shell that we put around these 2 cards could be anything because they're both artifacts. So what have we chosen to do? Well, Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast are some of the best sideboard cards in Legacy normally. Sometimes Legacy gets a little tweaked and warped out to the point where they are decent main deck cards. But when we're able to make the entire opponent's deck blue, Pyroblast all of a sudden becomes 1 red, counter target spell, or destroy target permanent, which is kind of nuts. Then we also have Veil of Summer in the main deck, which will protect our spells from counters, and we'll be able to draw a card no matter what color spell that they played. Not the biggest deal. Then outside of that, because Painter's Servant and Grindstone are both artifacts, we're using Goblin Engineer to tutor them into our graveyard. Then Goblin Engineer is able to grab other Silver Bullet artifacts like Ensnaring Bridge, or Soul Guide Lantern, or for some reason Lion's Eye Diamond, which can give us mana to combo off sometimes. It's not something that I have to do yet, but I did play this for only 1 league, and I assume that is something that can happen sometimes. And then we've also got Goblin Welder, which is like Goblin Engineer's older, smaller cousin. It just swaps artifacts from the graveyard into play and from play into the graveyard, but it doesn't tutor anything into our graveyard. Then we're also playing the wonderful Emry, Lurker of the Loch. She's able to gift us swords or anything else out of our graveyard. We're playing Mox Opal for some fast mana, Lotus Petal as well, Arcum's Astrolabe to tie the rug together, and then we've also got Oko, Thief of Crowns, the only format in which he remains, so just lets us have some good mid-range game for when our combo plan is not going as quickly as we'd like. Then in the sideboard, we've just got a bunch of things to deal with the Legacy metagame. We can either board to protect our combo from opposing decks with things like Lightning Bolt to interact, Echoing Truth to bounce permanent-based hate, or we can play things like Karn, Scion of Urza, and Master Thopterist to sort of board into a more mid-range deck. Trinisphere excellent against Storm and other sort of small mana decks. Pithing Needle turns off great things in general. Tormod's Crypt can hit Storm, shut down their graveyard quickly, or you can deal with Reanimator with that. So just a bunch of silver bullets, and then other things we can either board into a protective combo deck where we're trying to continue to combo but with better protection from disruption, or we can become a bit of a mid-range deck, which I got to do in the very last game that I played with this deck. It was awesome. I have an exceptional screenshot of me attacking with like it was 4 Constructs that were 12/12 each. It was great. So we are just off of a 4-1 with Bant Stoneblade, and I got a 4-1 last time I played this deck on my very first time. So let's see how it goes. I've also got my good friend Paul Zhu in the chat here. This is the deck that he played on my team at the Face-to-Face Open where we made 2nd place. It is awesome, and so is Paul. So here's an interesting hand. We have Ancient Tomb, which can play our Grindstone, Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, and we've got 1 mana floating off of that. Our Mox Opal will be then live to play the Goblin Engineer, and that'll put the Painter's Servant into our graveyard, leaving us ready to combo on turn 2. We'll also have the Lotus Petal ready to play Veil of Summer or Pyroblast here. So this is a pretty godly hand. What do you think, Paul? I think I'm snap keeping this. I think this is completely disgusting. Paul's Paul's a little delayed because the chat's behind, but I think we're likely to just kind of jam here. There is a question about sequencing here. If my opponent's on a force deck, we can kind of choose what they will get to force here. So I think we'll play Lotus Petal first. Looks like they've F6'd. Okay, and then we can tap this for red. Play our Goblin Engineer. So last time I set up like this, my opponent immediately went turn 1 Bajuka Bog you, just straight out of their hand. So I guess there's an argument for not fetching the Painter Servant, but I think the upside is just way, way too high here to not just go for the combo kill. The downside of having to Pyroblast or Veil here is that we won't have enough mana to combo next turn. So have to sort of keep an eye on that. Okay, so it's kind of a tricky moment here. We can combo at instant speed, so I wonder if I should wait and see if they sacrifice their Delta. And if they do, that's where we try to go off. Okay, so we're going to try to go off here. Reminder, unlike Thassa's Oracle, this is not unbeatable. My opponent still could respond to this, but this is going to mill them out entirely now that it's on the stack. But if they were able to kill my Patron Servant in response there, they would have been able to get out of this. There's not a lot of ways they could do that, but it is possible. I guess I don't control a swamp, and neither do... Oh, sorry, they don't control a swamp, so they couldn't snuff out. So we just fully mill them here, and then they die. So, turn 2 kill, just like we drew it up. Pray no Emrakul. Yeah, that's the other thing. So this deck is a little soft to your opponent just having an Emrakul in their deck. So one of the downsides of this it's not often a turn when fetch land fails to find. You are not wrong. So I don't know what my opponent's on at all. So Paul, do we just... Okay, we know they have Polluted Delta in their deck, and they didn't have a Force in their opener. Do I board in Veil, and is there anything else worth boarding in? I don't know if there's anything else worth boarding in the dark against something like that. This mismatched Grindstone makes me really upset, so I want to board it out. And I want to board it out for a Veil. So do we just like hit submit here and just try to combo them again? Or... Because like one of the nice things about this deck is it's sort of pre-boarded because it's playing 4 Pyroblast effects and 2 Veil of Summer in the main deck. Maybe 1 Psy instead of what? Instead of the Grindstone? The mismatched Grindstone? I want this mismatched Grindstone out of here. It's tilting me. I'm not normally tilted by things like that, but I just love Old Border too much. This looks so like classic Magic. Don't want to board bad cards. Yeah, I just need to know what to take out, dude. What do I take out the Grindstone? Also, I'm not normally a person who likes playing combo decks or decks like this that are like, I killed you on turn 2 with like little to no interaction. Things like Reanimator and Storm do not interest me overall, but for some reason, maybe just because it's novel, I really enjoy this deck. This hand is like medium minus. We can't play this Oko. Emry's coming out real slow. Do we have reasonable interaction? I think we'd mulligan this, though. Paul, is this a mull? I think it's a mull. Turn 2 Emry. Yeah. No, I understand that. It's just like... This is pretty medium. Turn 1 Welder. So you're saying we do Volcanic? Yeah, okay. Yep, I got you. WWPD, what would Paul do? Alright, we'll keep it. So we're fetching Volcanic Island here. It's possible they're a Wasteland deck, though, which I don't... Hand is pretty soft to Wasteland. Alright, we get to see more of their deck this time. Snow-covered island. Sure. So probably Miracles. And our turn 2 Emry is actually going to be kind of sick because we get to go Ancient Tomb, Soul Guide, Grindstone. Your Volk is safe. Yeah, I think so. We'll get to go turn 2 Soul Guide, Grindstone, Emry, so that's kind of sick. Ancient Tomb is a hell of a drug. Daze! Okay. Daze in your Astrolabe deck. Yeah, you got me. There's the Wasteland. Oh, Legacy. Well, there's our Lotus Petal, so... Doesn't matter. Get value. So I think we take out their Daze. It is by far the highest value card in their graveyard. Play this Grindstone. We can declare to cast the Emry, sack the Petal. Okay. In theory, I could have kept up Pyroblast, but since they're on 0 lands, I'm not particularly scared. Hey, Lamau. Yeah, we got. Oh, second Wasteland! True dat. Alright, so I'm going to play this Lotus Petal. I think I'm going to play this Welder. Or I can hold up Pyroblast. In theory, next turn, because of Lotus Petal, I have access to 2 mana. For anyone who wasn't clear on what Legacy is, welcome to Thunderdome. Here we are. Here we are, the princes of the universe. We're not playing Magic the Gathering right now. We're playing, I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! I've got 2 monsters in my front row, and I've got 2 traps in my back row. We're doing great. Welder can get back Painter. Yeah, that's why I played the Welder here. Gilded Goose. What is happening? Okay, Ancient Tomb's a pretty alright pickup. So I can welder back my painter and then use the Pyroblast to kill their snow-covered island. Is that what we want to do? I win? Oh, I just win here? Oh, I have all the mana. Right. Doy. Yeah. Sorry. Not used to playing combo decks. Sorry, Paul. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, chat. Sorry, Roy. Sorry, other humans. I think we're just combo killing my opponent here. Got him. Okay, so we swap Soul Guide Lantern for Painter. We paint the world blue. Wait, do I want to paint the world black so that they can't force me here? Well, I guess it's too late for force, right? I guess since this is resolving, we can just call blue red. We paint the town red? Really? Why? Like, we have lots of time on clock, so why do I choose red here? What can they pitch that is black? That doesn't matter? Okay. So I'm going to paint the town red, since it doesn't matter. I'm going to paint the town red. Assuming that this resolved, I guess it didn't really matter. So, whenever possible, paint the town red for your win, I guess. Hashtag got him, I guess. So we turn 2'd and then we turn 4. Red has the worst force. Yeah, you're right, dog. This doesn't play around pyrokinesis. Yo, you right, dog. We could get crushed by pyrokinesis. But then we wouldn't get to paint the town red. So black has Force of Despair. So I think the one you want to name is white. Like, I think 10 out of 10 you name white. Because green has Force of Vigor. Black has Force of Despair. Red has Pyrokinesis. But I don't think any of the white forces allow you to kill things. Actually, there's probably a white... There might be a white free spell that's like, if you control a plains, you get to just like disenchant for free. Yeah. Well, Force of Virtue? Force of Virtue is like not the end of the world. Like it's okay. It's seen some small amount of play, but yeah, it's definitely not. It's not useful there. That's for damn sure. Also, happy to see Stryfo at the very top of the Legacy trophy board. I have the Stryfo pile still sitting in my collection here, ready to play. Except it lost Ren and 6, so it's a bad beat, man. But this deck is awesome. So freaking good. I wish I could play it in paper someday. Someday I will borrow. Oh, you meant Scars of the Veteran. Yeah, Scars of the Veteran is pretty good. Someday I'll borrow the dual lands required, but I don't think I'm ever buying duals. Thanks, Wizards. You axed Legacy right out of my heart. I like playing Legacy online. It's very, very reasonable to play online. This is the worst hand we've seen so far. I think worth tossing this one. Lobster 4/1/1 kept. I know we've got Devil Astrolabe, but this is an 18-land deck, so I'm not super excited. Yeah, no mana, says Paul. This is like slightly better. Yeah, actually this has turn 1 Petal, Opal, Grindstone, and then I can use Opal and Petal to play Servant. And then if I draw one more mana, I can combo on 2. So I think this is a keep. And I think we bottom Bridge. No, we'd probably bottom the redundant Grindstone. Bottom the extra Grindstone, right? Okay. Grindstone usually resolve. True. True. Ghost Quarter. You son of a bitch. Spirit Guide. Sylvan Library. What is happening on the opponent's side? I have some concern. Alright. Goblin Engineer is a pretty okay pickup. It's depths, but it's turbo depths. So do I slam the painter? I would play engineer now. Yeah, that makes sense. Because then engineer gets me LED. Right? And LED gets me to the win. Does LED get me to the win? I need 5 mana next turn. Gets me really close. Because I can't go up an artifact next turn. Because I had to sack the Lotus Petal. Yeah, I can swap it with Opal, but then I only have 4. Yeah, then we win the turn after. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they took the full 8 to draw 2 extra cards off of Sylvan Library. Makes sense. Crack LED. Activate Grinding Stone. Hold priority. Swap the stone with painter. Oh, that's a cool line. Paul, that's so sick. Paul, why you gotta be so sick like that? Caracas, Lotus Petal. Sure. Thoughtseize. That doesn't matter, right? Because we wanted the Painter's Servant in our graveyard. Yeah, they didn't get the depths or the Thespian stage here, so they're not close to comboing, right? Okay, so we hashtag got him. As far as what they've done so far, we've got the win here. Legacy is a ridiculous format. I enjoy this. So does this change the clock? So we activate Goblin Engineer. We swap the Mox Opal with the LED, and then we win next turn. Pretty sure this is not modern, Roy. But we can't kill them now, right? Oh yeah, okay. So we play the paint. No, but playing the painter gives me 1 mana off the Mox Opal. Right. Got it. I found it. Okay, we paint the town. Paint the town red. Add 1 mana. Yeah. Exchange LED and Mox Opal. So unless they're playing some weird version where they have main deck Dismember or something like that. They Ghost Quarter the Caracas. Okay. Might get punished for choosing red on our crop rotation. Oh, they're going to bog me. Yeah. I knew they had bog in their deck. I just didn't realize the line they could take there. So Wait, but this only just buys them a turn, right? Possibly more than one. So we should have chosen blue there. Yeah, we just need to draw 1 mana. Yeah. Yeah. That was a sick line from the opponent. Definitely was not... I just definitely didn't see that at all. They've got stage here. Hey, look, we drew a mana. Oh, Legacy. And they concede. Alright, seems legit. So we're definitely bringing in Pithing Needle, right? And then... Surgical? Why do you think we should have chosen blue? So blue allows us to Pyroblast anything. So if you imagine that instead of drawing the mana source there, we drew a Pyroblast, our Pyroblast would literally have no text. Blue is not good. They might have Veil of Summer, I guess. So what? But turning off 4 cards in our deck seems bad, Paul. I mean, I don't know the matchup, and I don't know the format that well, so. Echoing Truth and Sigh. Yeah, they'll likely have permanent base disruption. And I think our Veils are coming out then. No, they play Thoughtseize and stuff, right? Take out Astrolabe against combo decks. Okay. All the Astrolabes or some Astrolabes? So we take out all the Astrolabes. Do we leave any number of Pyroblasts or Red Elemental Blasts? Or are we boarding more in? Because I don't... Like, we definitely want Pithing Needle. Pyroblast is better. Okay, so we keep a Pyroblast and a Reb. Yeah. So we're boarding like this. Sometimes they have Pithing Needle, Naming Grinding Stone, so you want Return to Nature? Yeah. Let me fix that. Thanks, Roy. Okay. I have these coming out. I guess Surgical's not worth bringing in. Okay, I got it. Got it. Understood. All right, we're going like this. If we missed something or screwed up, that's where we're at. Oh, also Oko. That's true. I haven't played with Oko in so long. He does everything. So this hand is again kind of nuts, right? We can't cast this Veil, but other than that, we're in good shape. Yeah, good hand, yo. True. And they mulled to 6, which is a good start for us. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Nice. All right, so they can't they can't in a relevant way take our Grindstones. They probably don't want to anyway. So they're probably taking Engineer here. They can leave the Veil to rot because we don't have green mana right now. So are we going turn 1 Grindstone? Think we'd play double Grindstone? Yeah, okay, cool. Do I care about putting the LED into play? Also play the LED. Okay, cool. In case they discard you. Yeah, I figured. It's just like a lot of the time the deck plays out in such a way that it doesn't matter. Needle. Sure. We'll be fine when we need to be. That also applies to their Merit Lage. So do I Needle Thespian Stage now? Or do I wait to see... No, I guess because they could Thespian Stage right now. And if they Hex Mage, it won't have haste? Yeah, okay, cool. The Merit Lage won't have haste right now, so... Cool. So, awkward combo v combo game here. Both played some prison elements. Both are kind of flailing around. Unfortunate. So they get to take my Echoing Truth here. Maybe someday we'll draw green mana and then they'll play around my Veil instead of playing through my Veil. They took the Veil. What the hell does that mean? That means they don't care about this Echoing Truth, which means either they have more discard or... Well, that was a tremendous draw. So this is going to get me a Painter. They don't have any way to stop me right now. So I can win next turn. Because we can Echoing Truth their Pithing Needle and then combo. Thanks to LED providing all the mana. So we're in a good spot here. Echoing Truth also insulates us from Merit Lage. So they don't have great options here. But of course, they are also a combo deck, so they can crack this wide open. Abrupt Decay. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. That explains why they took the Veil, because the Veil would have protected me from that. So, nothing I can do about it. That's fine. Alright, so what we want to do here is just like naturally draw a Painter and win the game. Damn. Sometimes when I describe what I want from my deck, it gives me exactly what I want. It's called The Secret, and it's a really good book. It's like Oprah recommended. Okay, so if this is a discard spell, I'm going to fire off my Echoing Truth on their Pithing Needle, which I guess bounces my Pithing Needle. So... Paul, do I want to bounce both Pithing Needles and then lose my own? No, right? Yeah, the Secret's BS. I don't think that bouncing the two Pithing Needles here is smart. For this turn, they can't get stage. I know they can't, but like, they still have a Pithing Needle if I bounce. If I bounce both the Pithing Needles, yeah, it takes theirs out of play, but they could just play a land and then replay it. Or if they don't have a land, they could just play it next turn. You might draw Painter. I understand that, but like, I don't know. All right, we'll do it. No risk, no reward, baby. Combo? Yeah, that'll work. So, do I boot up one of my Grindstones to fight that? I can't. Yeah, I can't play this, actually. So, Paul taking out the Astrolabe seems like... I didn't think about it, but it really makes the Veil and the Oko hard to play. I mean... Yeah, I know I can't. I immediately... Okay. Okay, because they're a discard deck, we're going to draw on their turn. Should have upkeep bubbled them, but I didn't have the stop. Force of Vigor on top. Okay, that's really good to know about. So Welder's a pretty good draw. Can play Petal, Oko, boot up a Grindstone, and hit them. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we're going to play both. We're going to boot up the ugly Grindstone in case it dies. So from this point forward, I know that they'll have a Force of Vigor in their hand. However, we can combo at instant speed, so we might be able to combo on their turn. Oko also produces infinite food for our Welder, so... You can Elk their Needle. I can Elk their Needle, but I don't need to combo right now, so I don't... You forgot that he's going to discard the Needle. No, that's the reason I asked about it. Okay. I think we're going to plus on my other Grindstone. And then if they Force of Vigor, I can swap it for Painter's Servant. And then I can combo kill them next turn by swapping the Grindstone back out and elking their Needle. No, I'm going to do this on Lion's Eye Diamond. That works better with the play that I want. Yeah, I figured it out. Okay. So we're going to attack with everything except for the Welder. So we're just kind of putting them in a squeeze here where we're mid-ranging them to death. And they're not really able to fire off the Force of Vigor in their hand, because if they do, they leave themselves much more vulnerable to being comboed. I left this land in my hand because more mana than this is excessive, and they might fire off a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition before comboing, which will squeeze their mana. Hexmage. Okay. So they have... So they have Force of Vigor in their hand. So right now, if I Welder, I can swap my Grindstone for... Yeah, I can use Welder to swap my Grindstone. Do I swap it to swap his Needle for Lotus Petal? Okay. And then I make a food, but they have Force of Vigor in their hand right now. Oh, but if they screw up and let my Painter come into play... Yeah, we know they have Force of Vigor. It was the one thing I saw with Mishra's Bauble. So... if I swap Grindstone for Painter's Servant, I can paint the world a different color than green, and then they won't be able to Vigor me. So it'll force them to kill my Grindstone. And then I can Welder back my Pithing Needle on my turn, and then we can Elk. Still get rid of their Needle. I don't think so. I think I get the Painter first. I think getting the Painter is better. Because if I get the Painter, they have to force now. They can still force if you name another color. Oh, Painter's in addition to that. Shoot. Yeah, it's not Mycosynth Lattice. Crud. Yep, you're right. Okay, none of that works. So I can force action by getting my Pithing Needle, because then they can't Hexmage their Dark Depths, or they have to in response, and then I Elk it. I think that's where we're at, Paul. And if they don't sack their Hexmage in response, I can boot up my Welder and kill them. So I think this is the right line. So switch Grindstone for Pithing Needle. We'll see what happens. If they let this resolve, I think they're just dead on board. Oh, it's their turn. They can't force me right now. I guess they can needle on my... They can force the needle on my turn, but then I can swap it. This is a very complicated game. So many things that can happen. This is ridiculous. Paul, why are there so many lines? There's so many lines, it's like the frickin' 70s here. So here's the thing. If I get the needle, I name Hexmage. Go to my turn. So I couldn't kill them there. This gives me some wiggle room. What I can do is attack with LED and Grindstone. It's lethal, so they have to block. And then they force my needle. And then I can elk their Merit Lage. I can elk the Welder and attack them, but it won't... I guess that's okay because they can respond by forcing me, and then I just kill them around the Merit Lage, even if they get it. It feels a little sketch, but yeah. No. Roy's right, and so was I. Past me was right. So if we elk the Welder now, they can't force it, and then they just die to the attack for 9. So this kind of has the potential to go belly up, but I think it's okay. No, I know they can't force it, but I'm just worried about something else happening. I think I shouldn't be. I'm just saying if I attack with both of these, they block, they force the needle, they get their Merit Lage token, and then I can elk it, which I guess puts them down resources. All right, we're going to take a slightly conservative line here rather than do something silly. So I'm going to attack with these two. So I just don't know what they could have in their hand, in their deck. I think I was just supposed to elk the Welder there and attack and kill them, but this line is also very good. I just think that this one squeezes them the hardest and gives me the lowest chance of just losing on the spot. Like, if they had... what is the... Okay, so now I swap my needle for... I don't know, Painter? We're going to make everything blue because I have forces or pyroblasts and such in my deck right now. Now they're going to be able to make a Merit Lage eat one of my creatures, then I elk it. And then they're down at Dark Depths. We're good anyway, but like... There are things like what is the kill spell that's the black freeze kill spell? So your Merit Lage became a dead elk? Oh, it had 3 damage on it. Neat. I didn't even think of that. All right, and now we've got the kill on board next turn. So we could have killed them that turn with the way everything worked out there. I'm pretty sure we could have, but I was worried about the what is that spell? Second Dark Death is fine. Second Hexmage is fine. Not Snuff Out. Snuff Out was the spell I was thinking of. Okay, so I can just attack them for 3 here, and then if they do anything, I can just combo kill them. Sick. Yeah, Snuff Out is what I was worried about. It is a card they can legitimately play. Slaughter Pact was not at all what I was worried about. Snuff Out was what I was worried about. If they control a swamp, which they do. And I don't know where the Legacy meta is at right now, but... So they sack it on Oko. I'm going to respond by killing them. Yes? Sure. So we swap Lotus Petal for Grindstone. They have 1 card in hand, so they can't force anyway. Oh, shoot. I didn't... Yeah, I needed to take their Needle out of play. Okay. Good line opponent. They're still alive. I screwed up. Yep. Yes, I remember. I remember now that I needed to elk the thing, and that the only reason I was in the spot I was. So if they draw another force, we could get blown out here a little bit. There's a lot of stuff happening here, but we still have an out. We can still Goblin Welder their Needle. Goodness gracious, that's punishing. Oh no, wait, it's not. No, this is actually totally fine. So we attack them for 3. They have to block. And then we win. Swap your Needle for your Lotus Petal. It's a good thing they play Lotus Petal. Yeah, okay, and they scoop to that. So, kind of fumbled that a little bit there, but I think I played around something. Engineer grab bridge. No, dude, we just win. It was your line from earlier. We welded their poor Pithing Needle into a Lotus Petal because they had the misfortune of playing Lotus Petal. So we're 2-0. 2-0, 4-0. So all of us seeing interesting line. Yeah, it was very confusing. I think we got a little in our own heads. I certainly did. Oh my god, it's Schwen. Lamau! Hey, Schwen, don't ghost. I ask him not to ghost. He says he's not. Then I blame him for not watching my stream. Get him. He's playing an ape deck. Is it just Storm? It's got to be Storm. All right. Well, this hand is very reasonable against almost anything, so I'm definitely going to keep it. Upkeep, fetch. Sure. Entomb. Sure. I don't like the sound of this. Grizzle Daddy. Sure. Okay. So there's a Grizzlebrand that is threatening to come in. So do I just get Pyroblast up here? It's not particularly useful. I can get my Emry into play here. Play Welder Emry. Yeah, okay. Makes sense to me. So we fetch the Volk. We have to. I've got so many more permanents than my opponent. It's going to be a shame when we lose on turn 2. Yeah. So they're going to have Exhume here, most likely. They get their Grizzlebrand. They can draw 14 cards. Animate Dead, sure. So they can draw as many cards as they want, and then they can strip all of the non-land cards out of my hand with Unmasks. But I don't. We're not actually dead. Lotus Petal. Okay, so they could have Unmask number 1. How do we Oko with Lotus Petal? Yeah, we could have on this turn, but unfortunately we're losing all the cards in our hand. Ritual, Entomb. Alright, getting back up. Oh no, he can get Ashen Rider. Crap. So they can exile my Emry. I don't have either combo piece in my graveyard, so I think we're in big trouble here. Which do they choose? The land, really? Interesting. I love that your definition of he's playing an ape deck is Black-Red Reanimator. So I can swap the Astrolabe into play to draw a card. Because we're not dead yet. Yeah, Welder involves 0 mana. Welder's gross. So, do I swap my Mox Opal in for Astrolabe? Sure. I think I swap for Astrolabe. I think you try to play the Emry. I can absolutely play the Emry by playing the Petal first. No. I play Astrolabe to draw a card. I swap Mox Opal for Astrolabe, draw a card. Because you might hit Bridge. And then I need to Welder the Bridge in, I guess. Yeah, okay. I see how that makes sense. So I can Emry for Lotus Petal first. Oh, Paul. Never give up. Never surrender. So, yeah, Emry digs us the deepest. So we get Lotus Petal. Cast it. Play Emry for a single blue. Keep the untapped Emry. We got to mill the bridge. Didn't mill the bridge. So Welder sacks at instant speed. I guess I could play a Painter if I drew it. So I'm going to sack Mox Opal for Astrolabe here. Suppose I also have a Soul Guide Lantern, so I'm actually going to keep the Welder up for now. Besides the fact if I draw a Bridge and I'm not able to cast it, they could take it out of my hand, so I don't want to draw cards until their end step. Faithful Suiting, that's fine. I've got a Soul Guide Lantern just rip-roaring and ready to go, baby. Oh, please try to reanimate something. Oh, baby! So, swap for Soul Guide Lantern. So they've got lots of creatures in their graveyard, so I'm going to actually have to sack this to remove their whole graveyard if I want to counter the Exhume. Otherwise, I have to deal with Chancellor in play. Chancellor in play is actually not a big deal. Whereas I get a Goblin Engineer or an Emry, which is kind of better for me. Don't counter it, don't Sank Lantern. I'm not. Oh, use Engineer to grab Bridge. Nice. Yeah. Sick. All right, we doing that. And I'm actually going to leave the Soul Guide Lantern in play. I did exile their Faithless Looting, though, which was the right choice in terms of that, because then they don't have access to Faithless Looting next turn. So we tutor Bridge, and they probably don't have an out for Bridge in their main deck, I would assume. So actually, there's a chance we shouldn't have swapped the Soul Guide Lantern in at that moment, because Welder could get the Bridge into play around any kind of exile effect they might have. Now, I don't think they have one, but it could have happened. Hey, look, a Grindstone. So we almost have combo too. Play Lotus Petal with Emry, we are covered. Yep. Oh, right. Got to pay 1 for it. Okay, so I can't play this Grindstone right now, but I think I just Welder this Bridge in right now. I don't think there's any reason to wait. And I have the 1 red mana if I needed to protect it. Okay. Let's find out if Schwen has any main deck outs to Bridge. I assume not. Nice exhume. Got themselves. And then next turn we want to get the Soul Guide Lantern into play. Cabal Therapy. Sacking the Ashen Rider. Yeah. So now they're able to target the Bridge. I think we just die. So actually, my small misplay on the previous turn got us killed. Yeah, he had it. Yeah. My small misplay was horrifyingly punished because I didn't get the Bridge into play faster. Because if I'd done that, I would have Welder and Engineer on tap right now, I think. So I think we're just dead. I can save the Bridge from getting exiled, but then they just attack me to death. I can't swap Bridge for Bridge. We shouldn't have done it at combat phase. I think what should have done it at combat phase. Right, because therapy's a sorcery. Yep. Cool. I think we lost, right? We're out of here. Good to note that there is a way to get killed there. Yeah. I understand what you mean. When they couldn't cast a sorcery. Yep, cool. Yeah, that was a very, very crunchy thing, and I wasn't thinking that they had a way to sack the Ashen Rider. There's just a lot of stuff happening. Okay, so Surgical, Veil, Crypt, Needle, Trinisphere, and then Echoing Truth? Is this right? This looks right. Return to Nature. Both? Yeah, I guess so, because they've got... Return to Nature is better than Echoing Truth here. I'm not saying we don't need Echoing Truth. Yeah, okay. You're right. So I assume Pyroblast is going out. And probably the Astrolabes. Dump the Astrolabes and Blasts, yeah. I guess I keep one Astrolabe, or I can board in one like Psy, because he makes blockers for all their flyers. Leaving one blast. Yeah, okay. Sure. That makes sense to me. Board out Oko. Brian, you're drunk. This isn't modern. Oko's legal here, and he's insane. Paul, he's crazy, right? Like, Oko can legitimately be quite good here, and him generating food for Goblin Engineer and Goblin Welder is, like, reasonable. Not memeing Lamau. Okay, that's fair. But what do we want in instead? Like, Echoing Truth? One or two Oko. Okay, but like, what do we want? More Rebs? More Pyroblast? Okay, cool. Hey, Lamau. So we've got turn 1 Soul Guide Tormod's Crypt. This hand seems really, really, really good, Paul. Yeah, sick hand. Cool. So we get Volcanic. Actually, probably play Crypt Welder, right? I don't need Crypt and Soul Guide Lantern against Reanimator, right? And getting the Welder into play seems really good. Yo, Paul digs it. Yee. Volk. Crypt. I got my 1 mana open. So even if they had Chancellor in the opening hand, we would have been okay to get the Crypt into play. This does mean I can't play turn 2 Emry, but this also means they're likely to put something into their graveyard for me to Soul Guide Lantern, so... they're going straight discard. Whoa, whoa. Soul Guide Lantern's about to mess you up, friend. Ooh, or I could just Pithing Needle Gristlebrand. No, I think we just play Soul Guide Lantern here. Paul, Soul Guide Lantern, remove the Iona, I think. Just play Lantern. Yeah, okay, cool. Get wrecked. And then I can just I don't need to attack with my Welder, right? I can just leave them, because if they do anything that I need to deal with, I can sack one of these and then weld back. So I can sack the Crypt to wipe out their graveyard, and then if they get cheeky, I can swap the Crypt back out. Or I can sack Soul Guide to wipe out their graveyard, and then I can swap it back out with Welder. So even if they come up with some really convoluted line to sort of combo off twice in one turn, I can actually beat that. I can actually beat 3 Thoughtseize. Sure, go nuts. Bye, Emry. It's cool. We're just going to play Pithing Needle on Gristlebrand next turn. So, enjoy! Check out my hand. It's all hate. Check out my hand full of hate. Lotus Petal, sure. music stopped. Didn't even realize. I was just so into the legacy. Dark Ritual. He's doing stuff. Paul, he's doing stuff. I don't like it. Entomb. Entomb into Scoop. Got it. Whoa. We're practicing social distancing, Roy, and I'm like 20 miles from you guys at least. You guys are the ones who are all close together and shit. I don't know what's wrong with you people. Alright, are we still good with our sideboarding? I'm sure we are. Just gotta draw a sick handful of hate like that. I'm always socially distanced anyway. Paul, no you're not. You're wonderful. I'm in Montreal. Roy, you're lying. Why would you lie like that? I guess Trinisphere, I'm always thinking of it as like swapping it into play, not actually hard casting it. And it really locks them out of the game pretty hard when you do it. All right, so this is a mulligan. But Schwen also took a mull. This is slow. I don't think we can keep this one, right, Paul? Okay. Need to mulligan again. Okay, this is like reasonable-ish. I think we throw back a mountain and the Veil. Yeah, we should throw back a mountain Veil. So our turn 1 is Tomb Soul Guide. We got turn 2 Welder. And then we just got to pray a little bit that Schwen doesn't have a bunch of redundant combo. All right. Whoa. The stupid remnants of my cough from the other week. All right. So they have the turn 1. Yep. Turn 1 Grizzlebrand. Well, only Surgical was going to beat that. All right, Paul, we died. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you die to the turn 1 combo deck. When you're the turn 2 combo deck. I don't think even the Power of Friendship could beat that hand. Yeah, I can agree with that. All right, I'm just going to scoop out of this. I don't need to see the end of this. We all know how this ends. I mean, Gristlebrand's only really killing people on turn 1 in 2 formats, so probably Vintage as well. Thanks, Neobrand. Alrighty, let's roll. Man, this hand is so close to keepable. Gotta ship it. Whoa, that's gross. Alright, shipping that one too. Yeah, okay, so keeping this, throwing back Bridge and an Engineer. I think we slow roll. Depends on what we draw on turn 1, but we're probably playing Mountain into nothing on turn 1. Engineer on turn 2. Really hope I don't get Thoughtseized here. Oh. Helping Schwen learn the 7 times table. What up, Schwen? Nice match. Very nice match. Ah, I'm getting Thoughtseized. I had to mull to 5 and I'm getting Thoughtseized. Woof. I mean, pretty good draw. Sick match, buddy. Glad you could drop by. Okay. So, go Trop and Veil them. Main deck Veil, baby! Yeah, get wrecked. Could be Ant, yeah. Could also be Tess, right? Tess is pretty popular right now. Damn. This is some kind of mana draw. So I've already played one of my 2 Veils, so instead of bobbling on my turn where I could draw the Veil for more interaction, I'm gonna bobble on their upkeep because then I get to see what they're drawing, but they can't Thoughtseize my the card that I draw. But they can duress it. Okay. Okay, so I have no interaction left. Hooray! But I do draw 2 cards here. Let's make them relevant. I mean, it's pretty good. Jesus. Alright, so I'll play the Lotus Petal that they know about. I think we're playing the Welder, who can start kind of being like a fake Emry. Oh no, I have Astrolabes, so I swap for the Bauble first, and then I just start looping Astrolabes. So, but we're likely to just get stormed out here. We only have 5 cards, but all they need is Ritual into Ad Nauseam. That probably gives them everything they need. LED. We might be dying, Paul. Wait, there's no storm counter in play. There should be, right? If there's a storm... No, it only shows the storm count if I've seen a storm spell from them, right? Or if I have one in my 75. Fertile Tutor, hold priority, crack LED, then they Ad Nauseam. Yeah, okay, so we're in trubs. All right, enjoy your ad nauseum, friend. I guess they're on no mana, so they have to hit Lotus Petals to get going, which they haven't yet. They've already used 2. So it is possible they get messed up here. Oh, wow. They can definitely combo next turn. They stopped. Wow. Oh, they can hit a petal here. They have 33 cards left in their deck. This gives them 4 looks at a petal. They drew the card. So they fire off a petal here. They go ritual, 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 ritual. Oh, but they don't have any way to change the colors right now for Empty the Warrens. And they had to stop ad nauseum there because they could have hit the tendrils. Past in Flame, sure. And the tendrils, right? Because they play the tendrils in the main deck. Okay, so... yeah. So I'm going to use the Welder to swap this Astrolabe for Bauble. Going to play the Welder. Going to keep holding this 1 Lotus Petal. I'm going to Bauble them now because this means I get to draw a card on their turn. Yeah. I got you. I got you, Paul. I know what's up. This is not a Veil of Summer. Just in case anyone was unclear, the Arcum's Astrolabe in my hand is not a Veil. We needed to draw Veil, yeah. That would have protected us from the tendrils. It's possible, based on what I saw from all of this ad nause, that they can't combo here. Because now they're just down to like Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Cabal. They dished at least 1 Cabal Ritual, so they're like their hand is all like blue cantrips. So okay, they're ritualing. Probably just dead. Duress. That's fine actually, because I can draw 2 cards on the next turn. So it is possible this is just a duress that's clearing the way for the win. But it's also possible they're just duressing for value. No, we're probably just dead here, huh? Ritual. Well, if they have the tendrils in their hand right now, they need more. LED into tutor. Oh, there's red. Are they going for goblins? Goblins gives me a little time. Blue. Or are they doing a Hail? They're doing a Hail Mary. I think they're digging for the tendrils. I don't think they have it. Oh, it could be Pith. Could be Past in Flames. It's not in their graveyard yet. Oh, so they could pick up Past in Flames here too? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's another option. But it doesn't... If they get Past in Flames, they LED for it. They put their storm count up to 1 trillion, and they make like 60 goblins, but this still doesn't kill me this turn. So I could find Bridge and lock them out if they go for goblins. Tutor. Okay, so they just kill us here? Yeah, we just die here. They go red. Yeah, they only play 1 of most of their big haymakers. They went Past in Flames. Why? Oh, they can tutor again. There's the tendrils. All right, super dead. Ugh, this garbage art. Garbage frame. All right, so Veil, Crypt, Trinosphere, Surgical, and then yeah, they were just wasting time basically. They knew what my hand was, so they could have just gone for the tendrils when they did. I think these cards, and then I don't know what we're taking out. Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast are even better than anything else. I guess the Astrolabes? Is that what you were saying? Astrolabe goes out here? Echoing Truth? Yeah, that's fair. Against their like ley lines and stuff. Bridge? You don't want Bridge against Goblins? I guess it's pretty marginal. Oko. Yeah, I guess so. One Oko. I'd rather have one Bridge than two than the second Oko. Just in case they end up in a situation where they have to go for Goblins, and I end up in a situation where I can bridge them. It's better to have one Bridge than the third Oko. Okay, cool. I think we're good here. True. Would I like to play first? Yes, please. Yeah. This is pretty hot, right? Turn 1 Engineer plus Crypt plus Bauble. Good hand, yo. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I don't need to get Snowlands, and I don't need to worry about Wasteland. So, gonna get Taiga or Volcanic. I guess I'll get one and then the other, so it doesn't really matter. And do I get Trinosphere here? Yeah, grab Trinosphere. Cool. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Trinosphere is awesome because it mostly locks them out of the game, and if they have a way to exile it, then we don't end up in a situation where we sort of stumble and fumble and can't win the game ourselves. All right, friend, turn to Trinosphere. What do you got? Please dress me. I don't mind. Oh boy. I don't like the looks of this, Paul. Good God. So if they have Infernal Tutor, they can get Goblins right now? Wow. Whew. So I guess I'm getting Painter? They're going for Goblins for sure. Hey, remember how I left that bridge in my deck? So we're just dead to these Goblins, right? I don't have enough blockers. But Emry can get the bridge. So I'm not dead this turn, and I have a Painter in my graveyard. They're on 0 cards in hand, so the best thing to do is swap my Crypt for the Painter and hope we can find a Grindstone and just win the game, right? Well, next turn I take 10, and then the next turn I take 8. So if I sack this Misty, I'm in lethal there. But if I get the Painter out, I have an extra blocker, and I can use Bauble to dig an extra card. So right now I don't need to do anything, unless I want to put the Trinisphere into play. But I don't think it matters when they're on 0 resources. Okay, so I'm gonna Bauble, Brainstorm, I'm gonna fetch Taiga, swap the Crypt for the Painter. You can also try to draw Echoing Truth. Yeah, I guess so. So I could swap the Crypt for the Bauble and draw another card? But that puts me on 0 artifacts, but I have an Emry. So if I get Painter, I get to live another turn, for sure. But I suppose drawing Echoing Truth or I'm getting the Painter. We're gonna try it this way. So I have a Lotus Petal, but it costs me 1 mana to get it. So I play Goblin Engineer this turn, and then I can Emry for the Petal. I'll grab LED? Oh, I have an LED? Oh, grab LED with the Engineer. Then Emry the Petal. Then swap the LED in with the... Hold on. I'm getting confused here. All right. So play Goblin Engineer. That puts the LED in my graveyard. Emry can play the LED, which makes me discard my hand, and then I get a bridge into play. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, got it. So Emry play LED. LED for red. Engineer swaps bridge into servant. And I probably should have done that on their attack step again. But if we lose to that again, I'm just, my mind is being melted by the fact that I was able to do that. So cast Brainstorm, sure. Yeah, this deck is really, really cool, Roy. That's why I was like, oh, this is awesome. So on my turn, I can Emry in almost anything and then turn that into Trinisphere and lock them out of playing more spells. And then all I have to do is make sure I stay on 0 cards in hand from here on out, and I can find the combo. And Trinisphere locks them out of being able to play stuff, but I can still Engineer to swap back and forth and keep sort of gaining. So we swap in Oh, I could swap in LED. No, that doesn't help me. Swap in Great Furnace, then swap it for Trinisphere. I can also play the third Engineer. Sorry. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Okay. I made it dumb, but it doesn't kill me. So Goblin Engineer gets me Grindstone. I think I can win next turn. All right. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. Sorry, folks. Trinisphere could prevent us from emptying out our hand. No, it couldn't, because we could swap out an artifact for LED and discard our hand. I think. Okay. I think this Mox Opal means I win the game right now. Use Emry. To play the Painter Servant. Then we can swap in. Yeah, because the servant. No, the servant costs 2, so I want to welder that in. So use Emry for Grindstone. And then use 1 welder. So go red, red, weld the Mox Opal into the Painter, weld the Ensnaring Bridge into the LED. Yep. Okay, cool. So Painter for Mox Opal. Make the whole world blue. LED for bridge. Sack for blue. Grind out the opponent. Cool. We did it. Kill him. Nice goblins. Hey, Paul. What about boarding out that bridge, huh? What do you think? Do you think we should leave a bridge in here? I don't know. Seems speculative. I don't know if we should leave a bridge in there. Dude, that was the same thing that happened in the last game, the last match that I played against Delver, where I was like swapping the bridge in and out against their true name nemesis, but I needed to be able to attack with my constructs. It was sick. Okay, I think the boarding is still good. A little bit fried at this point, so I'm not sure about anything, but I think everything in the deck was relevant there pretty much, so we just got to draw some fire and get there one more time. This hand is not good enough, but they also mulligan, so I'm comfortable doing so. Okay. I think we keep this one. It's not great, but it's got Pyroblast into... Okay. Paul says good hand, yo. So I think we bought Oko? Pretty sure we bought him Oko. Oko's way too slow. I don't want him now. Turn 2 Trinisphere. Yeah. And I guess we can play Welder on turn 1, so if they discard the Trinisphere, if we draw another artifact, we can pop it back out. Hopefully they play Cantrip on turn 1. That can't play cantrips. Oh boy. Bye, Trinisphere. Oh, maybe not actually, because they might be afraid of it coming out anyway. Alright, if they don't discard the Trinisphere, I would like to draw a Lotus Petal. Can we just talk about my love for Emry in all formats? Emry was sick there. She even failed to play my Great Furnace that one turn where I screwed up, and still was good. Took the Welder. Okay. Well, We're sticking to the plan. The plan is turn 2 Trinisphere or bust. So good luck me, I guess. Well, that's a tad unfortunate, perhaps. We'll see. I guess we get to play Goblin Engineer. Not entirely sure what he does for me. Eyebrow. Think we get Goblin Engineer in here. We might just be dead. Yeah, we might be, but like they haven't done anything yet, so I think I'm supposed to hold up Pyroblast here, but I'm playing the Engineer. And Engineer is gonna get me something amazing. Soul Guide Lantern, I guess. We got Soul Guide? Yeah, I'm not. This is not a game where I'm like, yo, we're jamming combo here. I just want to get a couple resources together to maybe get through the next turn or two. They're pretty low on cards. They have a lot of land for that deck. They do not want to draw that many lands. They've brainstormed into fetch here, which is pretty good. Gives them a lot of options, but perhaps not enough. We'll see. Them firing off the Misty is possibly a good sign. Might be a second cantrip here. Oh, no. Decay. Alright, that's reasonable. They're down to 2 cards in hand, which is pretty cool for us. Ah. So this means I get to play Emry this turn? Yeah, it does. And get Bridge down, which is like not the best, but true. Yeah, we bridge into Emry. My understanding of Magic the Gathering cards is sufficient to be able to find that line. So hopefully they don't find another kill spell here. More land. That is awesome for us. So out of everything in my graveyard that I could play, I think the highest upside is Trinisphere. Even though it means from then on my Emry is real slow. The other option is play Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, you think Sphere? The other option is play Soul Guide and hold up Pyroblast. Because I think if I assemble sort of more slowly and have Pyroblast up on the way, it might be a little safer. Because if they literally have... We're playing against Storm, Roy. If they have... Yeah, it's Ad Nauseam Tendrils. It's not Tess. That's right. It is ANT. They could have... They only have 2 cards. Oh, snap. Adnaz or Pith. Yeah. Yeah, but they don't have enough mana for Adnaz yet. And I have... Soul Guide gives me the ability to nuke their graveyard. It also gives me the ability to draw more cards. So I think I'm going Soul Guide. I thought this was a new match. No. All right, good night, Roy. I gotta get through this sweet league. All right, so we get Soul Guide. We're gonna exile the Abrupt Decay because it's like the best spell in their graveyard. Doesn't really matter most likely, but. And we can sack this to draw a card. Dark Ritual. Sure. So if this is ad nauseum, that's the worst for us. Shoot. Yeah. So Trinisphere would have prevented that. There's a Past in Flames though, which is just what we want to see. Oh, they go to 1 on the Dark Petition. So they have Cabal Ritual, Duress Tutor. Emry can literally kill them, so they have to win this turn. Yeah, Cabal Ritual's fine. Oh, actually, so if I wipe them out, so if I respond to this, they get 3 mana and they have the land, so they have 4 mana, which means they get Past in Flames, but then they can't cast anything else, and they can't get anything with the Infernal Tutor, right? So if I just nuke the yard here, they're screwed, right? They're stuck. And then we attack them to death. Is that right? That's why I didn't let it resolve. I think we can just win here, right? So they have Cabal Ritual. They can't use this for mana. Oh, right. So if I nuke their yard, they're stuck. Yeah, we're gonna kill them with Emry. Okay. So they have no mana right now. Yeah. Okay. We know exactly the 4 cards in their hand are Dark Petition, Past in Flames, Duress, and Infernal Tutor. So they can't. Yeah, we got it. Sick. That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna hit the washroom real quick before we hop into match number 5. Thanks for hanging out, folks. This has been awesome. Playing my teammates' decks. This is a good way to start wrapping things up before a break. All right. Let's get him. Could have been 4-0. Yeah, I mean, the match against Schwen was like, it was legit. He played a good game. You know, he played Reanimator. We got. That's Legacy. Oh, Paul, you need a sword. All right, Paul, you've been knighted. Enjoy your mod sword. You should have seen that crazy therapy line and let you know, man. It's fine. Like we're moving at a reasonable pace here, and like it is what it is. I'm here to learn. I'm here to have a good time. I don't feel particularly bad about getting like beat up by something that was that niche. You know, that was a pretty narrow line. Yeah, Ashen Rider definitely gives Reanimator a little bit of play that I didn't realize there. Oh, dude, this deck is sweet. It's super, super sweet. I enjoy it not being click intensive. I enjoy the fact that I just go like, Grindstone, Painter, are you dead? It's like really relaxing in terms of like execution, but it's got a really cool tutor package. Heir of Alendi 15 for our final match. So this hand is nuts, right? Actually, it's not that good. So we can't quite turn 2 kill. Yeah, it's a good hand, but we can't cast Emry and we can't cast Oko. So it's kind of a multi 5 to start with. It's pretty easy to draw the mana we need. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm definitely happy to keep it. I'm just saying. Oh, God. Oh, well, at least they're thought seizing. No. Hey, we drew that land you wanted. So I think we go Mountain, Grindstone, Bauble, and we Bauble on their turn and hope we live. Cool. Carrion. Oh, it's Hogak. Cabal Therapy. Yeah. Okay, so we lose our hand here, but we're drawing 2, and they were uncastable anyway, so. I think it's Hogak. I think we're getting gacked. Scrubland. Oh, maybe not. I have no idea what this is. No, it is Hogak. That makes sense. Gravecrawler was a Hogak thing. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw. I'm going to Astrolabe first, see what we draw. Okay, so Furnace. No, Mox Opal, Ancient Tomb, Welder, and then we win next turn. Could be Zombardment. Okay. But I think we just grip it and rip it here. Since the Mox Opal casts the Welder, fine. I think I want to put the Ancient Tomb into play because it means I have more potential mana next turn, and then we can just win next turn, assuming that they don't kill us or kill our Welder. So depending on what their hand is in this craziness. So they have Carrion Feeder, so they have a zombie. So if they play... Oh, they scooped. All right. Got him. This deck is stupid. In the best possible way, but this deck is stupid. Okay, so Surgical, Tormod's Crypt, Pithing Needle, probably Trinisphere, and then Veil. Would you call them a combo deck, or would you call them like a mid-range deck? Return to Nature, sure. They could have Leyline. Yeah. So we board out something like this. Something like that. Cool. Yo, I dig it too, dog. This is great. This deck is sick. Don't think you need Trinisphere. Okay, that's fair. I just like the idea of stopping them from being able to play Grave Crawlers. Like, if they set up their Zombardment combo, it means it costs them 3 mana for each Grave Crawler instead of 1, which slows them down to a point where it might be relevant. I think it's better than an Oko. Especially with the Astrolabes going out. I think bringing in Echoing Truth. Okay, if we're bringing in Echoing Truth... I think we can take out all the Okos, and I think Bridge is better. Yeah, alright. I'm happy with this. I think on the play I might want at least one Oko, but on the draw, yeah. Not so much. Yeah, it's annoying in this league we didn't play against any Delver or anything fair, so this is really good, right? With the surgical. We can't play the Welder, but everything else about this hand is really good. It is medium, but like, is it a medium keep? They mulliganed. I don't know how good surgical is. Okay. I think this is a keep. I'm gonna keep it and see what happens. Opponent mulliganed to 6, so I'm gonna do a show of strength. Yeah. Well, Veil's good because if they Thoughtseize me, they have to take the surgical or the Veil, and then they're kind of... Cool. They passed the turn. That is awesome. That is exactly what I want to see there. Hello, ability to play Goblin Welder. How do you weld? Do I want the Welder in play right away? Or do I want to wait a turn? Yeah, let's do it. All right. Lightning Bolt. You jerk. So that probably explains why they paused on turn 1 and tanked a little bit. Tide Hollow Skeller. Target opponent. Okay, so I can Veil that. Sick. Get wrecked, nerd. Beep, 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 beep. Sad engineer. Okay, so playing Grindstone here, holding up Surgical. Mountain Police. I know, right? This is the downside to not having Astrolabe in game 2 is the mana becomes a little more sketch. Oh, crap. Paul, we're going to lose to this sick beatdown. Or, you know, we could just top deck the Painter and win pretty quick. Pithing Needle. Yeah. Hey. So, just give Mountain. I think we're playing Goblin Engineer here. I think we're getting... Soul Guide Lantern? No. I guess I could get Painter and hope that I draw another artifact. Because I don't... None of my, like, toolbox is useful yet. Plus Painter is a 1/3, so I can block the Tidehauler Sculler. Yeah, I think we're just getting Painter here. Lantern is good? Okay. I guess Lantern's also good. Alright, Lantern seems fine. I had an argument for Painter, but... Man, their deck's doing a whole lot of nothing, huh? Thoughtseize. Do a fire off my surgical in response. Don't think so. Think I'm happy to hold on to whichever one of these they let me. Yeah. Could definitely leave 1 or 2 Astrolabes. We can change that in game 2 or game 3 if we get there. But they have to win this game first, which they have not done yet. No, it's fine, man. This is not... Yeah, exactly. I don't know their deck either, right? So I'm just trying to make choices based on my intuition, based on my understanding of Legacy, but that's pretty incomplete. Okay, I think I'm playing Ancient Tomb here because I don't want them to know that I drew Scalding Tarn. I think I'm happy to pass the turn because I can welder my Grindstone into Soul Guide Lantern at instant speed. Surgical means I'm safe from any graveyard-based shenanigans, which I assume that they're up to, but I don't actually know. Okay. Do I swap Grindstone into Soul Guide Lantern, sack it to draw a card? Probably. It puts me on no artifacts, but Grindstone wasn't doing anything for me anyway, and drawing an Emry or anything else will be much better than that. Surgical, my Soul Guide Lantern. Sure. Yeah, I guess so. You know there's a Grindstone here, right? I guess I'm glad I didn't get Painter now. We might want to board into the mid-range deck in the next game if they're going to play like this. Bring in the Okos and the Karns. Well, that was one of the best things I could draw. I mean, if they're a mid-range deck, though, they're doing a really poor job of being a mid-range deck. I wonder if I should surgical their surgicals, but just so I could see their deck. Like, see what we're up against here. Okay, Emry in play plus this Mox Opal is excellent. Yeah, if we're about to lose, we should surgical. Yeah. I don't... There's nothing I need to play right now. But I can Emry my Grindstone. And then grind myself to try to mill better cards for next turn. Oh, right, there's still a Pithing Needle. I'm a goofball. Yeah. I'm a goofball, don't worry about me. So I can swap for the Trinisphere. That doesn't do anything for me right now. I'm just going to swap for the Petal, since it's marginally better than a Grindstone that can't do anything. Hey! Okay. Okay, I still don't really need to make a move here yet. We're not dying very quickly. We've got Lotus Petal to hardcast Surgical if I need to. So we kill their Needle at end of turn, then we grind ourselves, and then we see where we're at. Question is, do I want to take 2 to grind myself? Probably. Cabal Therapy. Alright, so destroy target artifact. Dat one. Get him dead. I guess I could have let the first one resolve. And then, since there's a Cabal Therapy right now, I guess I surgical their Pithing Needles. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Alright, let's see what's going on in your deck, friend. And I still have enough mana to... Okay, so their hand is Wear Tear and nothing. They have 1 Pithing Needle. Let's take a picture because it lasts longer. So they have Bloodghasts, Carrion Feeders, Faithless Looting, Goblin Bombardment. Yeah, you were right. Zombardment. They just have terrible draw. Should have floated mana with Opal. Oh, I didn't realize my Opal was on. I'm a goon. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Paul. Are you worrying about it? Stop. You shouldn't worry about it. Stop it. Paul, stop. Okay. So their hand is a whole bunch of nothing, but it does have a Wear Tear. So I don't think I want to grind myself right now for 2 life. I don't think it's worth it. Is it worth it? It's probably worth it. Oh, we hit a Servant. Sick. So now we can threaten combo twice. Oh, and we have this Grindstone. So I think we just win, right? Yeah. So use Emry to play the Servant. We activate Grindstone, and if they kill my Servant in response, we can swap it back into play. Yeah, cool. So I just need to leave red. So we put the grind on the stack. They fetch. Okay, I can hide this again. They wear my Painter's Servant. I let that resolve. Then I Welder Servant for Mox Opal. Sick. Everything's still blue. Get him. All right, enjoy, friend. Enjoy your library. It's now in your graveyard, just like you wanted. Nice. So we got the 4-1. 6-6-6. So that is my second 4-1 with this deck. Second 4-1 of the night. Thank you so much for being around for that, Paul. Rug Painter is a blast in Legacy. Seems reasonably well positioned, and sometimes you get to board into a fair mid-range deck in Legacy, which is one of my favorite things of all time, is to play a fair mid-range deck in a super degenerate format. Overall, this deck has super powerful lines. Paul has an updated list, so I will possibly update the Stream Decker with that. So, oh, thanks, Cave Dan. I'm glad you got to see the deck in action. I'm glad I could provide yet another 4-1 with it. There was probably some awesome highlightable moments there, but I definitely didn't grab any pictures. So that's something I got to get better at when I get back in 7 months and I start up this for reals next time. Anywho, thanks for joining me. If you're checking this out on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check it out. Check me out on Twitch, and you can follow my adventures on Twitter over the next 6 or 7 months while I'm possibly at sea and in rehearsal for my cruise ship contracts playing music, and then I will be back to streaming when I return, possibly in a more permanent way, not full-time on the streaming, but just I won't go out on contracts again after this one. We'll see. I played the 2 decks of my wonderful teammates Brian Ching and Paul Zhu tonight from Team Trios. If you've never played a Trios event, if it's Unified, or if it's like Unified Modern, or if it's just Team Modern, or if it's Sealed, or if it's a split format like the ones we get to go to at Face-to-Face, it is an incredible way to play Magic. It's super fun to be with your team all day long. If you find a group of people that you just like hanging out with, that's the best. And you get to learn from each other, and it's just a wonderful experience. So thank you everyone for tuning in who has and who continues to. Growing this channel has been a really nice way to spend a chunk of my vacation and feel somewhat productive, which I love doing. So I'll be back a couple more times this week, and then that should be it for a while. Might be able to stream a bit in rehearsals. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's enough jabbering from me. Have yourself some great magicking. Brew faithlessly. Stay safe from, stay socially distanced. Not isolated, but at least socially distanced. But you can still maintain great friends just like I do long distance when I'm away. It's a lot like the next couple months might be, and let me tell you, we're all going to make it through. So see you soon.